What my type are here? It's been a long time, and let me tell you, it's been a long week. Dealers out there are out there to take your money. Be very vigilant. That was my whole week for the past 3 days without uploading, but I'm back, and I'm here to upload again. And today we're going to be talking about Law 28. We're halfway through, but now we're in Law 28. This is enter action with boldness. As you guys know, today I read the stuff off ChatGPT, but I give you a real life application on how to use this law and how to make it more practical in your life so you can use it today. This law is about acting confidently and decisively. Hesitation creates doubt and invites challenge. Boldness inspires respect and leads to power. When you act, do it with confidence. Boldness draws attention and respect, while fear and hesitation shows weakness. Don't second guess, commit fully, and move forward like you know what you're doing. What you have to realize about having a second guessing mindset is that you become very unstable and not focused. But when you start taking decisions with boldness and you grab them in your hand and you say, I'm going to execute on it, you realize that your mindset starts becoming a lot more clearer because you're certain. And when you're certain in things, you are going to build confidence, you're going to command respect in the room, and you're going to move forward like it's nothing, like this is just another phase in my life. All right, so I got a couple key points here. We're going to talk about self-improvement first. Killing overthinking. Stop doubting your ability. Confidence grows the more you act without second guessing. Stop overthinking yourself. What I like to do is when I'm in the overthinking mindset is write stuff down for what it is, for plain sight and plain value. Because the last thing that you want is to clutter your mind with so much task and so much goals and dreams that you're not focusing on one. But if you focus on one of those instead of 10 of those, you'll start realizing that you become a lot more like a master with that one thing. Because if you do 10 things at the same time, you're not going to be as good to each one of those things. You're going to just divide the greatness that you have in you by percentages. So it'd be 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, etc., etc. But if you have this one thing, you can commit your 100% to it, or at least 90% to it. Number 2, bold choices, big growth. The more risk you take, even small ones, the more you expand your limits. What you have to understand about bold choices, leaving a job, leaving a relationship, leaving a family member, if they're toxic and unsettling, and let's say starting a new hobby. When you take those big, bold choices, you realize at the end of that, there's something more greater. Now, me personally, I have a perspective of a Christian, and when you think about it in your own perspective, and obeying God, when God calls you to do something bigger and better, you already know that God's going to give that to you, and it's going to be everlasting. But if you don't listen to God, and when He tells you to move, you're just setting yourself back, because that's not really anything that's going to glorify God. I mean, can God use that situation still to glorify Him? Yes, but it's not going to be as bright or as pronounced. So this is important. When somebody tells you to move. If it's a hobby that you're not liking, choose something else. If it's something that doesn't appeal to you or something that is making you sad and depressed, move on. Try something else. That's what this law is talking about. And it's taking those big risks with small things too. Maybe I wanted to start my video recording at 8 o'clock. It's 8:23 right now. You can absolutely do that. What if I started it in the morning though? What bold choice would that do with my decision? Well, let me tell you, if I uploaded at 6 o'clock in the morning, more people would view it throughout the day. But if I uploaded at 8 p.m., less people are going to view that because of the fact that people are usually in bed by 10:30 because they have work the next day. So pay attention to that. Number 3, fear shrinks when faced. Fear fades when you confront it head on with bold moves like talking to strangers, trying a new skill, etc., etc. When you get out of your comfort zone, and I can tell you this personally, That's where true experience is gained and where you can become the best self that you can. That's bold and confident. And when you get over that fear, you'll realize that the fear was just something that was stopping you. It wasn't something intrusive like a door. It was more like a baby gate that you can just grab your leg and go right over it. That's what it is most of the time. And fear makes itself presented a lot bigger than what it truly is. That's a bar, actually. Fear presents itself a lot bigger than what it truly is, while confidence is shown by how big you actually are. What do I mean by this? So confidence is this thing of doing the same thing again and again and again and perfecting it. And when you have confidence in it, it's the true height of people looking up on you and being scared because they know that you have the confidence of doing that thing. But fear is the lie that is on the other edge of the knowledge that you're trying to obtain, that gives a fake facade that it's truly, truly scary when it's not. Number 2 is school. Speak up in class. Don't be scared to ask or answer questions. You'll be remembered and respected. Act boldly means standing up in the middle of the classroom and answering that question. Be the first person that raises their hand when you're not. Instead of sitting down, drawing in your little books, close your notebook, pay attention in class, and be an active listener. There's so many benefits of becoming an active listener nowadays that you can't afford to be without it, because most jobs require communication. Not a lot of people like communicating out here, so it's something that's going to suit you for the best in the long run. So practice speaking up in class so that you can speak boldly when people need you to speak boldly. Number 2, take initiative. Start group projects, ask for help, organize study sessions. That boldness will set you apart. Be the person that starts something. Starts an online community, starts a Facebook group, starts their own art, their own business. Be bold in it. You are going to make mistakes, but it's fine. We all make mistakes in this life, and none of us are perfect. And if somebody says they're perfect, keep them in check. Number 3, own your mistakes. Be upfront and strong about your failures. It earns more respect than hiding or blaming others. I know a lot of people fear this, and for good reasons, because they don't want to be held accountable for their mistakes or get in trouble or lose their job. But based on my own personal opinion, when I was speaking boldly about my mistakes, they were more interested in keeping me, but not only that, they were interested in teaching me too. So when you make a mistake, being accountable is something that people need today. It's absolutely crazy how people don't hold themselves accountable today for the accidents that they make. And I am one of those, to be quite honest. I'll boldly say that. I am one of those people. And we all make mistakes. But it's a matter of getting back up, trying again, and not blaming others, because that is presumed to be weak. 100%. Work. Volunteer for tough tasks. Boldness is taking responsibilities, puts you on leadership radar. When you're at work, when you put yourself in those bold tasks that may not be at your level, you gain respect through your managers and your peers around you. So take those opportunities where it might feel a little bit unsettling to really dig into what you know. You know, if I don't know how to pull out a transmission, and I've only done backyard work on pulling out transmissions, and my manager says, can you pull out this transmission for me? Well, now's my time to shine, and if I need help owning up to those mistakes, and you'll realize that you'll impress people very, very quickly. Number 2, pitch ideas with confidence. Even if your idea isn't perfect, present it boldly, makes it stronger. So I know for me, it's truly, truly hard to present ideas over and over again, especially me as somebody that present stuff to young adults at my church. And it's hard sometimes to really get creative, not to sound repetitive, and to be innovative. And when you start pitching out the same idea, it kind of gets exhausting to people, but if you do it confidently, most people are more than likely willing to sit down, listen to your story, and give you feedback on that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely has to be motivational and uplifting for people to want to listen. And don't be using the monotone of, oh, good morning, guys. No, you don't want to be doing that either. You want to be speaking confidently. Hey, guys, good morning. It's going to be a great day today. You know, just speaking like that and pitching ideas with positivity will introduce new people into your life and gain your respect. Number 3, don't wait for permission. Sometimes doing the right thing without being asked shows leadership and confidence. In this lifetime, you don't have to be told what to do. And I'll close it with this. You don't have to be told. I wake up early in the morning to get to work myself. I come back from work myself. I cook food myself. Nobody needs to tell you what to do. In the Bible, there's this thing called free will that God gives us. But he offers forgiveness too. Why did I bring Bible into this? Because sometimes we are called to obey, and with obedience comes a lot of change in your life. And you don't ask permission for God to say, well, I want to stop smoking. Is that okay with you? You don't ask for permission. You just execute and you do it, because you know that at the end of the day, when you quit that bad habit and you ask God for forgiveness for it, you know that it's going to glorify God at the end of the day when you're stepping yourself a little closer towards his kingdom and expanding in his kingdom. Addictions are often seen as codependencies, and that's why I truly believe separates us from God is when we have a codependency on something, making that our master instead of God our master. But don't wait for permission, dude. Ladies here, if you guys are watching, don't wait for permission. Don't wait for permission. If you're in the work environment where there's a lot of leadership going on, be available and show them that you have the dedication and that you're separated from other people. Because if you're separated from other people, they're not going to compare you to those people. Make sense? Because at the end of the day, you're you. And when you don't wait for permission to get your life right, the people around you are going to be super impressed. And they're going to want to be around you more. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that these people were never there in the first place. And you're the only one that took the bold move to change their life for the better, because you knew that your past self wasn't happy. And when you look at it from that perspective and acting boldly, that's what it is that you've been through so much things in your life that caused you harm emotionally, physically, that you're just sick and tired of it. You're looking for something new, better, flourishing, nourishing, and that takes guts. It really, really does, because a lot of people like staying in their own habits. A lot of people like staying in their own laziness and their own world of going to work, coming home, and just doing the same rotation again. But if you set yourself apart from other people, you will thank yourself later. Walk and speak with purpose, slow, steady, and direct. Make eye contact and use firm and clear words. Avoid I think or maybe. Say yes to something that scares you once a week, a new class, a task at work, or speaking out. Another one that's a good one is stop apologizing unless you truly messed up. Replace sorry with thank you for your patience. I like saying I apologize because sometimes the word I'm sorry or sorry can come off pity. But when you say I apologize, it's more professional. Fun fact. And the last is start small. Order food confidently. Make the first move in conversation. Take a new route home. It's about being uncomfortable when you're tired of being comfortable. Because you know when you're uncomfortable, it's leading you closer to something that's going to be a lot greater than what you were yesterday. And when you see those little steps that you're taking, even though small, you will see a whole completely different self within the next couple years. And you'll thank yourself later. That was today's video. It was a little bit longer than what I expected, but it's alright. We're pushing through today. And that was Law 28. Enter action with boldness. And let nobody stop you. Shoo them out of the way. I love you guys so much. Drop a comment below what you guys think about this law. And subscribe to the channel. I got plenty more videos coming up, and I should have a couple niche scents coming in tomorrow, so niche video tomorrow for sure. I love you guys so much. You already know. God loves you too. Peace out.